AKPABIO to be Senate President. This is coming from Vice President-elect SHETTIMA. Now, Mr. SHETTIMA, who is a senator in the current assembly, promised to intervene to prevent a situation that will lead to rebellion by the APC lawmakers. Welcome to InfoGist TV, and Vice President-elect Kashim SHETTIMA has disclosed that the President-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu picked GODSWILL AKPABIO as his preferred candidate for the position of Senate President to avoid the negative narration of Islamization. Now, Mr. SHETTIMA spoke on Friday during a meeting with some elected lawmakers, including Tajuddin Abbas, whose ambition was to be House Speaker and has been endorsed by Mr. Tinubu and the ruling party APC. Mr. SHETTIMA said Mr. Tinubu wants to prevent a situation where the President and the Vice President and the Senate President and the Speaker of the House of Representatives will be all Muslims. Mr. Tinubu, SHETTIMA and Abbas are all Muslims, while Mr. AKPABIO is a Christian. The same faith ticket of Mr. Tinubu and SHETTIMA already created a situation where the President and Vice President are Muslims. Therefore have called by many Nigerians for the APC to ensure religious balance in its choice of presiding officers of the parliament. Mr. Tinubu and the APC picked Mr. AKPABIO from the South-South and Baraju Jubrin from the Northwest as preferred Senate President and Deputy Senate President respectively. They also picked Mr. Abbas from the Northwest and Ben Carlos Senate Southeast as the Speaker and Deputy Speaker. However, the decision has been criticized by some lawmakers and members of the party for various reasons, including the fact that the North Central was excluded from the arrangement. 3 aspirants from the Senate President seat, Abuzi Yari from the APC Zamfara State, Sani Musa APC Niger State, and Oji Uzokalu APC Abia State, have been very vocal in speaking against the arrangement. In the House of Representatives, ranking from APC lawmakers like Deputy Speaker Idris Wase and the House Leader Abhazan Dogua have also been rejected the zoning arrangement and have vowed to continue with their ambitions to be speakers. Explaining the rationale of the zoning arrangement, Mr. SHETTIMA said, "We are trying to avoid a situation whereby the number 1 citizen, number 2 citizen, and the number 3 citizens and the number 4 citizens are all the same faith. That will validate the negative narrative of the Islamization of Nigeria. That is why my principal, a fair-minded individual, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, insists the number of 3 citizens must come from the South-South Christian, and the stability of the nation is more important than any other consideration we are talking about inclusively," he said. Mr. SHETTIMA did not explain why other APC ranking senators who are also Christians were not considered despite seeking the position of a Senate President. These include Mr. Oji Uzokalu and Osita Izunaso. However, unlike Mr. AKPABIO, Mr. Kalu and Izunaso are from the Southeast, the region where Mr. Tinubu scored the least number of votes in the presidential election. Mr. SHETTIMA, former Borno State Governor, did not also speak on the outgoing corruption probe of Mr. AKPABIO. Now, the Premium Times reported that the ongoing probe of Mr. AKPABIO by the Anti-Graft Agency EFCC for allegedly stealing state funds where he was the governor of AKPA State. Mr. AKPABIO is, however, not the only aspirant with a tainted past. Mr. Kalu was also prosecuted and convicted for stealing public funds while he was the governor of Abia State. However, the Supreme Court ordered his retrial based on technicalities. Now, Mr. SHETTIMA, who is a senator in the current assembly, promised to intervene to prevent a situation that will lead to rebellion by the APC lawmakers ahead of the 13 June inauguration of the National Assembly. Oluwujowon Obasanjo, one of the sons of former President Olusegun Obasanjo, has endorsed the bid of former governor of AKPA State, GODSWILL AKPABIO, for the Senate presidency. The former president's son, who is the chieftain of the All Progressive Congress (APC), also supported the candidate of Abbas Tanjun as the next Speaker of the House of Representatives. Now, the National Working Committee of the APC have nominated Mr. AKPABIO and Tijan as Senate President and House Speaker for the 10th National Assembly. Other aspirants for the two offices and their supporters have criticized the nomination of the zoning formula adopted by the party. But the Vice President-elect Kashim Shettima on Friday said the nominations were considered in order to ensure that the party balances religion in the political leadership of the country. Mr. Obasanjo, while addressing journalists in Abuja on Saturday, appealed to the federal lawmakers-elect to support the nominations of the APC. He said Mr. AKPABIO is qualified for the office, having demonstrated loyalty to the party and the President-elect Bola Ahmed Asiwaju Tinubu. Senator AKPABIO obtained APC's presidential nomination form, but on the 9th of the primaries, he was the first aspirant to step down for the now President-elect Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he said. Honorable Tajuddin Abbas' exceptional contribution to lawmaking alone is enough to secure him the office of the Speaker of the House of Representatives, he said. The unassuming gentleman from the famous Zazuz royal family is a trailblazer in the aspect of lawmaking, and he alone has sponsored 74 bills and 21 of them have been signed into law by the President, he added. Senator AKPABIO has earned the respect and trust of the leadership of the party and the President-elect and other stakeholders. Therefore, his nomination as the next President of the Senate is very welcoming. The former President's son also claimed that Mr. Abbas possesses the quality to be a good Speaker of the House of Representatives. Honorable Abbas is so loved and trusted by the constituencies that he has been returned to represent them for the third term in the House. Honorable Abbas's constituency's projects are well on ground in every part of the constituency, and of the 114 bills signed into law between 2019 till now, he single-handedly has 21 in a House of 360 members. Now, 3 aggrieved All Progressive Congress senators have petitioned the party's secretariat over the adoption of the consensus candidate for the Senate presidency of the 10th National Assembly. The senators are Abdulzi Yari from the APC Zamfara, Sani Musa APC Niger, and Oji Uzokalu Abia State. Now presenting their grievances during their visit on Thursday in Abuja, Mr. Yari said the 4th Senator Osita Izunaso couldn't join the group on the visit due to unforeseen circumstances. We are here to represent and present our letter of grievances to you and also tell you and the Honorable House as a leader that we are not satisfied with the arrangement. What are we expecting from you, people, is to give us a fair play, at least if nothing, to mention that a particular zone is zone and anybody that the zone cannot participate in. He added that the lawmakers had done their best to ensure that the party remained in power and deserved to be carried along in its decision. Mr. Yari added that the politics was all about dialogue and communication, saying that all sides should be given a fair hearing. Yes, there were no sufficient or adequate consultations with you who were contesting, and it's a simple principle of democracy that you get views and opinions. But the circumstances that we found ourselves in after the election frustrated our desires, Mr. Adamu said, adding that the party's leadership would revisit the issue in interest of all. Responding to the All Progressive National Chairman, Abdullahi Adamu said the zoning of the Senate presidency was done in concert with stakeholders and some senators. Mr. Adamu, while welcoming the lawmakers, expressed satisfaction with their visit and decision to come open with their grievances. As chairman of the All Progressive Congress and members of the APC, the NWC will take responsibility. I take responsibility for what has gone on air, and in that spirit, I welcome you to this office on behalf of my colleagues. While appealing to the lawmakers to calm down, the APC national chairman said the contribution of Bola Ahmed Tinubu were, however, critical on the issue of the 10th National Assembly. Hold the fire until the last word is heard from us. We are the custodians of the party. As NWC, we are not acting alone. The voice of Tinubu, the president-elect, is essential, and we must accommodate him the best we can. I will not compromise on that. He is right now outside the country, and by the grace of God, when he comes back, he will go back to the drawing board and put our heads together and again see what we will get. I cannot permit what I will wait until we hold that meeting with the president-elect, said Mr. Adamu. He assured the lawmakers and the party's leadership would go through their memo to address issues contained in it. However, you heard in the art of human endeavors, and we are not perfect as human beings. We can make mistakes. So if we find the course of further consultation, the mistakes that need to be looked at, we will look at them. The important thing is that the spirit of the party must be kept alive. Our eyes must stay on the ball, but in doing so, we must make sure justice will be done. We will do it as the best human beings to deliver justice to the sundry, Mr. Adamu said. The ruling not only secures their claims, but all has actually been done.